Do you guys remember that show, Victor and Valentino? That Cartoon Network show that aired back in March of 2019 to August of 2022 with a whopping 3 seasons to boot. This show is on its way of becoming one of Cartoon Network's next big hit of the 2020s, but unfortunately it didn't last long due to being one of the IPs that were removed from HBO Max, spelling the end of the series, which is a bummer because with the concept and premise alone, this show was different from the shows that were already around. So let's dive into what the show is about and why I highly encourage you to check it out. Victor and Valentino is a comedy-driven show where the show is engineered by the comedic events and adventures the characters are exposed to, but also having that supernatural feel to it due to its crazy mythical activities that take place in their show. We have Victor and Valentino, who are half brothers that are faced to spend their summer in this small town called Monte Macabre, where they have to stay with their grandmother. This was because a lot of the time both Victor and Valentino don't get along with one another, so in order to fix that, they have to spend their summer together. And yeah, this duo reminds me a lot of Drake and Josh, and how both started off not, liking each other, but over the course of the series, they began to respect each other, relying on each other in most situations. Their character traits are also not very far from, Drake and Josh as well, because we have Valentino, who is your typical know-it-all brother, always believing that he has the answer to most of their problems, never really trying to understand any other option. And bro, he is very knowledgeable in just about anything, where he can tell you all about something without end if you get him talking about it. But of course, he's not all that bad, because most of the times he can come in clutch, always having the solution to every situation the duo might find themselves in. He is just an older brother who wants to prove that he is capable to his brother. I personally like Valentino's character because of how he's not above being told, where he went wrong at times, never really being a douche about knowing everything. He's just a kid who wants to solve the issues that come his way, which is something that I, as an avid wannabe problem solver, can understand. And did I forget to mention that bro loves art? Like seeing things in lens of an artist, trying to make art out of nothing. Then we have Victor, who is the more wild and easygoing of the two, constantly looking for adventures all around him, all around the city, Monte Macabre, the town, coincidentally always finding trouble everywhere he goes, never really learning from his mistakes, because bro just can't stay still without, using some form of chaos for the two to solve. Victor at first was pretty annoying because bro could never stay without complaining about boredom, and I found that very off-putting. But now as I get older, I can certainly relate to his predicament, because being a boy of that age, boredom is almost a disease, because as kids you would want, to have fun doing anything and everything to pass the time. And plus, they're at a mythical small town where strange things happen every day. So I would understand why Victor always wants to explore, going on crazy adventures. Valentino could never understand his eagerness to want to live this way because of his calm and rational standpoint, obviously juxtaposing their personality traits to further establish the realism of having a sibling. Because if any of y'all know, having siblings is not easy. Y'all would understand how different you guys are, never liking the same thing or having the same hobbies. So it is very much pertinent in the relationship between Victor and Valentino. In the first episode titled Folk Art Foes, Victor and Valentino are running a piñata stand, and as always, Victor is bored out his mind and wants to do something else, but copes by playing with the material, trying to make the situation applicable to him. But Val gets upset at Victor, never, taking anything serious, forcing Victor to get more supplies. So Victor makes his way to the basement, where he stumbles across this strange, looking door. Then Victor runs back to Val, wanting him to see this door for himself, but in classic Val fashion, shuts Victor down because he's not interested in anything aside his art, but decides to come anyways. Both of them unravel what's behind the door, being a room full of ancient relics. Valentino is already knowledgeable about these relics, and the writers make it so natural in the way Val, is knowledgeable on these items, because he's infatuated with art. So it would make sense for him to be familiar with these relics that look like art pieces in a museum. But then Victor once again dismisses Val, not wanting Val to bore him to death with the details. When Abuela shows up, and this show is no stranger to making their grandmas menacing, because Abuela is no different due to how terrifying her entrance is. Almost, you know what I'm saying, seeing, even though she's blind. She has eyes everywhere. Abuela happens to be upset, scolding the boys for entering the room without her permission, warning them not to play with the relics or else they'll release their souls that are being housed inside. So of course, after hearing this, Victor already chants the words needed to release the spirit, who is, you know what I'm saying, known as the King of Mischief, but Val intervenes and stops him. Victor doesn't believe in the story, calling it a myth, and dude, I can kind of get where Victor is coming from, because as kids, if our parents wouldn't want us to go into a room, they would kind of tell us spooky stories to kind of take advantage of our impressionable state. So I'm kind of on Victor with this one, kind of doubting Abuela's like literal warning, because if your parent didn't want you to go into a room, they would literally make up anything just to scare us. So yeah, I can kind of understand Victor to some extent. And so the spirit ends up being freed and is just causing havoc around the town. So Val and Vic try to reseal him, but like a graduate from high school, Ro does not want to go back, and he does everything he can to stop them. Then Victor learns his lesson about fun, and that if it's being done to your expense, it's no longer fun, being a full circle moment. And I like how effortless the writers, you know what I'm saying, highlighted this lesson being learned, taking a showing rather than telling approach, because most of the time shows tend to reel in on the lessons being learned before it is told, making it rather obvious of what the lesson could be. At the end of the day, this is a comedic show, so morals should not be established right away. But at the end of the day, when it is, adds to the layers of the show more and more. Then the duo, you know what I'm saying, through trickery are able to seal the spirit, bringing us to the end of the episode. This show is truly a gem hidden in the rubble. The story and the premise is already appealing, but the characters are what set it off for me personally, because of how different each character is from each other, providing a new aspect to the show that can be inclusive to all audience watching. We have a very few selection of side characters, but these characters are so distinct that it makes up for the small cast we have. So first we have Charlene, who is the neighbor of the brothers, always appearing out of nowhere to hang out with them, specifically Victor, because she has a crush on Victor. So she would always persist in wanting to get close to them. And despite her appearance, she is pretty much a girl's girl, having a pink bedroom, subverting the viewer's expectations, having us believe that, like her appearance, her room would be gothic and dark. Overall, she's a pretty cool character that wants to express herself through creepy and terrifying ways. Then we have her brother, who is just, you know, there for the most part, but he is just a chill guy, that's not really participating in any drama as long as it doesn't involve his sister. And he is a man of a few words, you know what I'm saying? Then we have Sochi, who is that older character crush that one of the main characters have in the show, being of the boys' heartbeat. And dude, I can't blame them, because Sochi's a cool character, and plus look at her. And the show goes out of its way to make her character so likable, because she's always there to drop some wisdom on the boys, being that older sister figure to them.
Ever since I was a baby, unusual things would happen to me. As I grew up, I understood my unusualness more, even if people around me didn't.
Which is very admiring. Then we have Don Jalapeno, who is the, you know what I'm saying, store owner of a pepper shop, and also is the father of Sochi. Mans is just a certified hater, always hating on the duo, raining on their parade, constantly trying to stop their fun, you know what I'm saying, over and over again. But over the course of the series, he grows on me, because he does all of this just so he can preserve the history of his small town, Monte Macabre. Then last but not least, we have Abuela, who I previously mentioned in the Folk Art Foes episode, but bro, she doesn't play around. But when she is around her grandsons, she's a completely different person, being that warm, caring grandma, never wanting them to be in danger, but not at the cost of their freedom, giving them chances to play and discover. Personally, I love Abuela because she reminds me of my own grandma, and that she is genuine about her love towards her grandkids. So yeah, this show has some characters, it's like a really small amount of them, but these characters make up for their small count with their quality of personality and character writing, which is a redeeming quality in the show nonetheless. The story alone is just one factor of the show that appeals to me, but the other is in the animation and how aesthetically pleasing it is, with the distinct design of the background always looking as if it's something out of a traditional museum where you will actually see these decorations. Then we have the design of the characters where it has its own identity that can't be replicated, feeling unique to the show. Then the music is something literally out of the Wild West, having the instrumental sound like a guitar going crazy on all the notes, further reinforcing that idea that we're in the West. So overall, Victor and Valentino is a show with like little to no misses and almost all hits, and I highly suggest for you guys to check it out. You know what I'm saying? Because this show was just robbed. I don't know why HBO is always taking out the good shows, man. Free my show, Victor and Valentino, man. This show was literally on its way of being like the next big hit of the 2020s. It was up there with Mau Mau. It was up there with Craig of the Creek. Like, Victor and Valentino was going places until HBO Max, you know, shot him off its pedestal, and then Cartoon Network had to cancel the show off. So yeah, man, it sucks, but bro, at the end of the day, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Guys, if you guys, please check out this show for yourselves. Don't take my word for it. Give it a chance, like, on your own. Give it a chance, watch it. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you, you guys are going to be pleased. You guys are going to thank me later. So I'm telling you guys, you're welcome in advance, because you guys are going to thank me later because of how good this show really is. Everything I said in this review, I meant it with like all of my heart. This show is fire. Please guys, give it a chance, man. But yeah, man, if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. I apologize for being on a little hiatus. I've been working on a lot of things, you know what I'm saying? But I'm definitely going to be posting a lot more. I'm still coming up with video ideas for y'all. So please guys, drop them down in the comments if you haven't already. And yeah, man, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.